Hi, this is John with Performance Plus. In today's video, I'm going to cover the 5 essential things that every beginning player needs to develop to become a good tennis player. And you might be thinking, I'm already a pretty good player. Is this video for me? The fundamentals I'm going to go through in this video are for everyone. The fundamentals that we need to continue to improve to achieve our full potential in tennis. So the first principle that we really want to focus on is getting comfortable moving on the court. And for most beginners, we think about hitting the ball, so we focus a lot on swings and hitting the ball and so forth. And we oftentimes see a lot of beginners who are just standing still, hitting balls. Even in tennis lessons, there's a lot of standing and hitting. There's a lot of standing and hitting. But tennis is a game of rhythm and balance and timing. And those concepts are really developed through movement. So the first thing you need to do as a beginner is get comfortable moving on the court. And in this case, we're on a hard court out here in California, and it's a hard court. It's firm, it's hard, right? So oftentimes we don't feel like we want to get comfortable on the court, or we're not comfortable running, but you've got to get comfortable moving. So you need to do a series of exercises when you get to the court that teach you how to feel like you're gliding or floating on the court. Skipping rope is a great one, just touching the court with a rope, just getting nice and light. Learning how to jog, nice and easy on the court. So you're running nice and easy. It's a very, very good one. Recovery steps, so you're going to use these when you're recovering to the center of the court. Learning how to recover and just touch the court. A lot of coaches teach, make a lot of noise and chirping and all this kind of things, popping the popcorn, all this stuff. I actually am an advocate of making your feet sound as quiet as possible. So when you're playing, you're just touching the court and you're just gliding and touching. So the more comfortable you get moving your feet, you'll discover how your strokes can follow your feet and start to work together to play shots. But without good footwork, it doesn't matter how good your strokes are, you're not going to be able to play very good tennis. Golden rule number 1 is all about footwork and movement. So footwork and movement is one of the big differentials between beginners, intermediate, and advanced players. And if you look at advanced tennis players, their feet are always moving when the ball is live. Look at professionals. When the ball is live, their feet are moving. They're in constant motion because it's the motion of the body that allows for rhythm and timing for everything to coordinate and come together and play the ball. So get out there on the court, avoid the idea of standing and hitting. You could stand and hit if you're just working on maybe a concept for a moment, but then build your strokes on dynamic footwork, and that'll get you advancing through the journey of improvement right away. Golden rule number 2 is know your grips. If you're a beginning player, you want to really understand what the ideal grips are and begin to form your strokes within the range of correctness on the grips. Obviously, the only thing we're touching the racket with is the grip. It's our only connection to the racket. So everything we do, if our grips are wrong, is compensating for awkward positions we can get into. So you really need to know your grips, okay? If you're playing with the wrong grip and you're outside the range of correctness, you're going to have a very, very difficult time organizing and coordinating swings and playing good shots and really developing high quality tennis. So know your grips. We do have a video here on the playlist on the YouTube channel where we go over grips. Check that out if you don't know. And you can also leave comments down below if you have questions about grips, and I'll certainly answer them. But know the ideal grips to play with. Golden rule number 3, and this is a critical one, is get your non-dominant hand involved in everything you do on the court. Oftentimes you'll see beginners, they're right-handed players, for example, and they'll just hold the racket in their hand and they'll hit balls, and then they'll walk with the racket in the hand and they'll hit balls. And after a couple of minutes, this arm begins to fatigue, particularly if the muscles that are specific to tennis are not really developed yet. And then you're just asking for tennis elbow. But before you get the tennis elbow, you're going to inhibit your performance and your development by having just one hand holding the racket all the time and gripping it and holding it. So look at what advanced tennis players do, and certainly the pros. Oftentimes the racket's in the non-dominant hand. Let the non-dominant hand take control of the racket, especially between points. So you're walking around, you could be checking your strings this way or something like that, but put the racket in your hand this way. And even when I'm walking on changeovers or I'm walking to pick up balls, I put the racket in my hand and I go over and pick up balls. I'll put the racket in my right hand, maybe pick up balls, and I'll put it back in my left hand again. So everything I do between playing shots and even during playing shots, usually I have my non-dominant hand involved. And while we're not going to get into the specifics on strokes today, my left hand is critically involved in every shot I play, particularly the forehand ground stroke, which would probably be the most common thing you do as a new player. Make sure that your left hand's in control of the racket. You have the forehand grip, and then your left hand's going to hold the racket and turn your body into what we call a unit turn. This is going to help you prepare to play the shot. And golden rule number 4 is monitor your tension, not only your grip tension, but your overall physical tension. And it's so common to see tennis players and even beginning tennis players trying to execute with too much tension. We're excited, we're nervous, all these things are going on, and we just get too tight. So how much tension should you have? And I think that's a very interesting question that we're going to answer, and I think it's going to make a lot of sense to you. When it comes to your bodily tension, just think about the amount of tension you have when you just do normal things like walk up and grab a refrigerator door. You have control of your bodily movements, but you're not too tight, you're not restricted, you're natural. So try to take that natural movement and control of your muscles to the court with you. How do we drive? Some people do drive with white knuckles. I don't. I control the wheel. I have enough control, enough tension so I can control the wheel, but not so much that I'm restricting or tight or fatiguing, but I certainly don't have the wheel so it's so loose I can't control it if I need to. So there's things we do in everyday life. Picking up a glass of water. We don't squeeze the glass. We apply enough tension to control it. So if you think about a lot of things we do in everyday life and we apply those to the court and we monitor the tension, that's going to help you be more fluid, more relaxed, greatly reduce the chances of getting injury and having a lot more fun as well. And then when it comes to holding the racket, this is a really critical one because, again, so many players are over gripping on the racket. So here is a simple guideline that you can apply to every shot you play in tennis that's going to help you establish and maintain the right level of tension with your hand on the grip. It's quite a simple thing to remember. When I'm holding the racket and I'm swinging the racket, I want to be able to feel the weight of the racket head. If I'm in this position to play, say, a forehand, and I grip the racket tight, the racket head disappears in my hand. I no longer can feel where the racket head is. But if I soften but maintain the control, in other words, the racket's not falling out of my hand, but I soften it so I can feel the weight, that is the ideal tension for you to play virtually every shot, whether it's a volley, or it's a two-handed backhand, or a one-handed backhand, or even the serve. So do monitor not only your physical tension, but also your grip tension so that you can play fluidly, feel relaxed, know where your racket head is. That's going to help you time onto the ball much, much better, and it's going to improve your overall performance. And golden rule number 5, if you're a beginning player developing your skills, don't play matches. I've been coaching tennis for a long, long time in clubs, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds of new players come in, beginners, and in 2 weeks they're putting them in matches, and they don't have any skills. And those are the players that never really get much better, and they get frustrated, and they get injured. And the reason is they're playing matches and they desire to win and all the excitement that comes with playing matches, but they don't have the skills. So therefore, you get trapped and stuck, and then you just don't really get any better. And the gratification of improving and developing as a tennis player becomes much, much more difficult. So you'll greatly reduce your chance of injuries. You're going to greatly increase your chances of achieving your full potential in tennis by resisting the temptation to get into match play until you've spent time developing your skills. And also just discover the reward that comes from practicing and improving, and delay the idea of playing matches until you're very comfortable that your skill set is well established. And bonus tip, find practice partners that have the same goals as you do. And that can be a difficult thing to do as a new tennis player, finding people to play with. We have a great program for you. It's called Play Your Court. And if you click in the description down below in the link, you'll gain access to Play Your Court at a 50% discount. And Play Your Court is the leading company, leading online business that helps match players with players all around the world. So no matter where you live, you can find players of similar ability and similar goals as you. So check that out, and I think that'll really help you on your journey to becoming a better tennis player. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope that these golden rules will help you on your journey to becoming a very good tennis player with great skills that you can enjoy for a lifetime. Please like the video, leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Any comments that are left down below, I'll certainly respond to those. And if you want to learn more, I encourage you to click in the link in the description down below and gain access to my library of lessons, which reveals all the key principles that you need to learn on every shot to achieve your full potential in tennis. Thanks again for watching today's lesson, and we'll see you in the next video.